Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video and welcome to round 17 of our NASCAR 25 career mode. Yes, we return this weekend back to Kansas Speedway. Of course, if you missed out on the video that went live yesterday from Bristol, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. It was quite a crazy race. I mean, Bristol, short track ARCA racing, it's always going to be beating and banging, but without trying to give too many spoilers, we had a very, very good weekend. Taking a look at our championship standings for the first time this season, we are now up to P2 overall. Still 57 points back behind Williams Sawalich with just 3 rounds to go. I'm going to need a bit of a miracle if I want to try and beat him. He's only finished outside the top 10 once all year, and I'm pretty certain that was at Talladega when things got slightly broken inside this game. 2 points in it, though, between myself and Butterbean, so I'm looking this weekend to try and pull out a little bit of a margin over him, but we're going to need to spend a little bit of money because we need a new engine on the car as well there. So, going to get myself a brand new 6.5 litre V8 motor ready for this weekend, and hopefully we'll be able to get all of the other parts fixed up and sorted as well there. We've got some urgent tasks, we've got some issues this week, and you need to make a choice what's going down then. So we need to review the classifieds or get a delivery driver. We're in a tough spot with some of the wear and tear on the cars lately. The team is going to spend some time browsing the racing classifieds for new car parts for the week, but the food delivery apps are also paying out double this week, and maybe if we sticker your daily driver up like a race car, you can get some bigger tips. I think we need the work points rather than the delivery driver. Well, after seeing how bad the classifieds look, the guys are pretty inspired to fix up what they've already got. Wonderful. So we'll make sure we get some extra points in ready for this weekend. The engine, yeah, like I said, is also dead, but I've already dealt with that. And then, obviously, we'll try and make sure that we get everything else all fixed up, ready to go. And, well, luckily, heading to Kansas then, we will have a maxed out car. We've also got a potential new sponsor. Looks like Cometic Gasket willing to offer us a fair bit of money, but I need a top 8 this weekend, so that would certainly be useful if we can possibly do that. As I wanted to double check one other thing, but apparently I can't. You guys were telling me in the comments, apparently, that I can hire new staff at some point as well. So, unfortunately, yeah, I wanted to try and do that nice and quickly, but I'm not going to be able to before we head into this weekend. I've got the rep already needed, though, to try and make it into the Craftsman Truck Series. So, we are going to try and tick off these last 3 races, and then I'm going to change up the format slightly, ready for next season. Of course, yeah, a massive thank you to everybody for their support. We're trying to hit 3k subs now on the channel. So, if you're not already, please make sure you hit that sub button as well. But yeah, let's head out then back to Kansas Speedway.
We welcome you to Kansas Speedway. Get ready to feel the thunder of NASCAR as engines roar to life and the best drivers in the world battle it out on this fast and fierce 1.5 miles flyover.
Of course, heading then back to Kansas this weekend. It's a little bit of a weird one because by the time this video goes live, hopefully I will survive Le Mans 24 over on iRacing. So fingers crossed that race went well. Hopefully we had a good time as well with it. And a massive thank you obviously to all of you guys that always come out to whatever I'm live streaming as well over on my Twitch. I might do some NASCAR live streams at some point as well. So they'll be live here as well if and when I do them. But also, yeah, they'll go up on my Twitch channel. So drop me a follow at Matt212 over on Twitch. We're trying to get to 10k before the end of the year as well then, but trying to immediately see if we can get these practice objectives. Of course, I'm pretty certain last time we came to Kansas, I think I had basically a maxed out car as well, so hopefully, obviously we're going to smash through all the practice objectives, but I don't know kind of whether we're going to be able to be, you know, kind of in that fight for pole position. Do definitely seem to come alive more in races rather than qualifying pace there as out of the final corner, cut below the apron on the run back to the line. That is going to be a 33.2. Immediately then smashing that practice objective again. But as always, I'm going to run a couple more laps, but I'll see you guys in qualifying. Well, based on the weekend preview and on free practice, it looks like Brendan Queen is heading back to Kansas with some vengeance in mind this weekend. Clearly amped up after running P2 throughout most of this campaign. Is he going to lose that championship spot right towards the end of the season there? So Sawalich and I, of course, have stolen the limelight throughout most of this campaign. Let's see what we can do then as we head into qualifying. Of course, if we can beat out Queen, but obviously if he can beat out Sawalich, that would be hugely beneficial for our championship stead, I should say. Let's try to make sure we carry the most speed up over the start-finish line there. Only get the one lap this weekend. One chance to try and get absolutely nailed there. I think we're going to expect to probably be down in the low 33s. Maybe a 32 is going to be doable. As all just understeering a little bit through the transition of 1 and 2. Luckily able to keep it out the wall, but not maintaining as much speed as I would have wanted as we head out onto the back straight there, down into 3 and 4. Almost completely flat out through these final couple of corners, but let's try and get the run then back around towards the start-finish line here. What is the lap going to be? Can we make it a third pole of the year? 32.9, P2 in the end. Oh, how far are we off pole position then? Let's take a look. 15 thousandths of a second slower than Brendan Queen, but how many times have I said it this season that the big three are your top three come the end of qualifying? But yeah, if we can just leave Sawalich, you know, to battle with the Lawless Allens and the LeVar Scotts of this world, hopefully we're going to be able to try and fight Queen for the win, because we both need it.
Let's go trackside now for the command to start this ARCA Menard Series race. Drivers, start your engines!
Well, here we are then, ready to go. Green flag racing here from Kansas. Oh, and immediately again, I'm put right on the limiter, ready for the start of this one. I think the AI, though, might have had the same story, as we are immediately then 3 wide as Sawalich. But immediately try and pounce then. I mean, a P3 is not a bad qualifying, is it, in the grand scheme of things? As I'm just getting shuffled out on the high side early on. It is only a 25-lap race here today. So, I mean, we saw a few cautions, obviously, the last time we came here to Kansas. We'll wait and see what happens today, then, as Cole Raz seems to be very, very good around these bigger ovals, but really seems to struggle on the short tracks there, isn't he? You can just see the draft starting to have a bit of an effect as we will muscle our way down the middle of Lawless Allen. And I think that was Jankowiak as well, wasn't it? On the outside, oh, sorry, on the inside even. Let's back in towards turn 1 there. I'm not afraid to use a bit of a higher line than the AI will here. They really do like to hug the apron. But we're able to get a pretty good run off of the corners as well because of it. So immediately then back up towards 3rd spot. And yeah, you just see there, it's a risky line running this high. Because of course, yeah, if you do exactly that, you run into the wall. You cost yourself bags of momentum off the corner. As there you go, Jankowiak there, immediately the 73, diving at the opportunity to get back past us. But LeVar Scott applying some pressure to our top 2 as well. This won't be a circuit where your front runners can really get away. The draft is, it's not critical, but it is very, very important around this track as well. So got to make sure that we keep in sight of your front runners as well. Hopefully, unlike a lot of the races we've done recently, lap traffic though shouldn't be much cause for concern. I think if the race runs caution-free, then we might get towards your back markers by the end. But otherwise, we will hopefully be a bit safe there, as there we go. Getting, hopefully, the move done back then on Jankowiak. You can see LeVar Scott there really is applying pressure to Sawalich. And in turn, he is having to apply pressure to Brendan Queen there. But, yeah, the 28 driver, just see off of turn 1 into turn 2. Just able to cover him off there. Keeps the nose in front. Oh, keeps the bumper, sorry, in front of Sawalich's nose. You can just see, I mean, this is what Sawalich was doing to us at Bristol last week. He's able just to dig the car in on the low line and kind of launch himself alongside you. And that's what really costs us momentum and speed around the track. As here we go. See if we can try and get a run on LeVar Scott back into turn 1. Dive to the inside of the number 6 car. It looks to be a bit more competitive this weekend, does LeVar? He's able to keep up with your front runners a little bit better than what we've seen previously this season. So just side by side still down the back stretch. There we go. Inside line again definitely seems to be the one you want to have here. But Sawalich and Queen putting on the show early on. And now hopefully we're going to be able to try and maintain some momentum through that final corner. Might be able to get back to them by the time we get in towards turn 1. The double slipstream giving us a lot of speed there. 180 miles an hour as we tip the car in. And I mean, you're putting a lot of faith in this ARCA car just to stick. As that time round it slides up the road a little bit. But we do get the bite. Well, Brendan Queen, like we said, this is basically must win for myself and the 28 driver. But as I've said, you know, I want to try and mathematically give ourselves a chance against Sawalich. You know, I don't really want to have to resort to wrecking him or anything like that. But let's just say if things get a little bit sketchy, in towards these final couple of races, that's not good. immediately going to lose myself bags of time off of that final corner. But yeah, if things do get a little bit sketchy, I mean, Sawalich has got plenty to lose and not a lot to gain at this stage of the campaign. From what I gathered, drivers can't move up and down series inside this game. It's a little bit of a shame, but yeah, it would be quite cool, obviously, to, you know, maybe continue on this battle with Sawalich up into trucks next season. But obviously, yeah, not quite the way. Unfortunately, at the moment, there are limitations with NASCAR 25. That being said, though, I do think the baseline is a great point to work off of in the future there, as to the outside of the 18 then. Oh, Sawalich there tries to give me a little bit of a squeeze up towards that outside wall, and, well, I don't respond too kindly to things like that. So again, they're off of the exit of turn 1 and turn 2. We'll let him get away with it this time. A little bit of a wobble on the exit. But look at the speed we've got there. Oh, thought about it to the inside of Brendan Queen, just having to nudge the brake there slightly. So Sawalich, I think, wanting to do what he does best there, just gets the bumper, gets the nose to your bumper. Let's try and make that move happen. His shortest run back in towards turn 1. To the inside of the 28 we will go. And as we start lap 10 then, for the first time today, we have taken the lead there. Will Brendan Queen be able to hang on to it around the outside? He's still going to be there, as we are definitely going to have to deal with some lap traffic then in this race as well. Taking a lot more time out of these guys than I ever thought we would be. I'm trying not to screw over Queen in the process, as there we go. He does duck back in to that P2. So Chevy, Toyota in your top 3 for now. Bristol last weekend, we were just able to drive away from the rest of the field. And, well, I'm not quite sure we're going to be able to do that today unless Sawalich and Queen now start battling a little bit further behind me. Of course, it's much easier to navigate some of those cars when you're not getting held up. There is, Queen's been held up behind the very first lapped car we come up to. There's Blake Lothian there, just staying up on the outside wall. And yeah, suddenly now Sawalich up into P2. But that gap now already up to pretty much a second there, as you can see. Queen dropping back, maybe towards the clutches of the VAR Scott as well. There is also Sawalich now getting held up as well. So the AI definitely still struggle with the lap traffic. I don't find it's too much of a struggle around a track like this, as long as they kind of maintain a fairly predictable line. Often you can just go to the inside of them there. So look at that, the confidence to hang the car right up against the wall, as we will get a nice little draft off of Kyle Keller and Alex Courtley down this back straight. But now Sawalich dropping back quite badly. As well, there you go, the number 3 there of Alex Courtley. Like I said, if they don't hold kind of the line I'm expecting them to, then things can get a little bit tricky to the inside of EJ Tamayo. But yes, Sawalich has lost a good 3 seconds on that last lap. And now he's under pressure from Lawless Allen. There we go, Sawalich dropping even further back then with 10 laps to go at the moment. So lap traffic not being too favourable to the JGR driver. And I mean, we are just driving away from the rest of the field there. Brendan Queen, he's done a better job than most getting through the traffic. But I think LeVar Scott and Lawless Allen have actually lost a lot less time since we started navigating our way through. It is a bit of a shame that the AI can struggle so much around these bigger tracks, these intermediates. You know, I understand on the short tracks, even I struggle sometimes with trying to get through the AI. But unless we get a late race caution, we're looking pretty in control right now. Oh no, there we go, we've got a caution. So we're going to have to take fuel. Wait, is it? No, it's not caution, it's just, we haven't got enough fuel, sorry, to get to the end. Oh, okay then, so I think, yeah, we'll take the splash and go now. And I'll make sure, obviously, that we get the car slowed down into pit lane now. I thought this was a caution coming out, and I just threw away a load of time then through turn 3. Through turn 1 and turn 2. Oh, it's just about there. I don't think we quite technically got the car slowed down, but we've done pretty well then. As could a Brendan Queen or a Williams Sawalich who maybe tried to stretch this to the end. Have I been made to look a right mug here late on in the day with 5 laps to go here from Kansas? I mean, yeah, we were absolutely dominating this race. I was just about to start apologising the fact that not a lot really happened since we got the lead. We kind of just walked away. But yeah, hopefully we're going to have a nice, clean, tidy pit stop there. There we go. Only a splash. So 3 seconds in the pit box. But yeah, unless those front runners all dive in as well, we're going to be in a whirl of hurt towards the end as we are down to P12 here. So Sawalich has dived in. So at least we know he's not going to be able to stretch to the end. But Butterbean again going an extra lap then at the very least at this point of the race. So as long as they don't go a lap down, because that would be an absolute disaster Of course, if we ended up with a caution or something like that. But Sawalich has popped back out them in P14. So Brendan Queen, yeah, still way out in front. But is he going to dive into the pit lane at the end of this lap? And sometimes the AI as well can make up some time on you in the process there. As there, I believe, is... Oh, no, that was not Lawless Allen. He's already coming out behind us. So there we go. Oh, LeVar Scott there in. As I was too busy looking at the mini-map there, rather than the outside wall that was very quickly closing in on me. So can LeVar Scott then maybe go the distance in this race? It is why I enjoy when we get these caution-free races on some of these bigger tracks, that the fuel usage can be really, really tight. I never even thought about it here, that we're going to try to stretch the fuel right the way to the very end. As there is Brendan Queen coming out of the pit lane. So, yeah, we're definitely still ahead of him. And that is critical at this stage of the afternoon. LeVar Scott, whoa, in that 6 car diving in. As I'm going to make the same mistake again. And please don't wreck myself. Otherwise, that would be an absolute disaster. Wrecking myself there would basically hand LeVar Scott the victory late on in the day. As I can't remember, did they do green-white checkered in ARCA? I honestly can't remember off the top of my head there. As well, EJ Tamayo, we will slide up around his outside there through that final corner. But 2 laps to go then, as LeVar Scott will make his way back out onto the circuit. We have got the jump ahead of him there, but how is the running order looking a bit further behind? Oh, don't hit the wall again for a 3rd time. I'm going to, apparently. Oh, no, 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 no. Hold on to it, hold on to it. Big save down the backstretch. Under absolutely no pressure whatsoever. I've almost completely thrown away this victory, as that's going to allow Brendan Queen to get a whole lot closer once again. And maybe our tyres now a little bit worse for wear. LeVar Scott, that overcut has not worked for him there. Williams Sawalich is back up then into P3. Oh, that got the heart rate going, though, late on in the day. I thought we might have completely thrown this one away there, but luckily able to hang on to it. Just don't hit that wall again through turn 2 there. But, well, apart from that, we had pretty much controlled this race. I certainly feel like we deserve win number 8 of the campaign there. It's going to be good points at Sawalich, giving ourselves a little bit of a buffer over Brendan Queen. 3 victories back-to-back towards the end of the season. We are really making a name for ourselves. It is P1. Love it. Absolutely love it there. We are really in the swing of things at this stage of the campaign. And, well, it's becoming a bit of a familiar sight. The Reese's 150 winner. Do I get some Reese's Pieces or something like that? That would be absolutely fantastic. I could really smash some of those out right now. But there we go then. Victory by 3 seconds ahead of Brendan Queen when all is said and done. Williams Sawalich will hang on for 3rd thereafter. A bit of a shaky race for the first time in a long old while. LeVar Scott, Andy Jankowiak there ahead of Lawless Allen and Jake Finch, who was one to watch this weekend. But ultimately did not live up to the hype. Cole Raz, Isabella Robusto, and Jason Kitzmiller inside your top 10. And there we go then, another huge chunk of reputation. You know, like I said, I don't know what we're going to need to try and qualify for Xfinity down the line. So just trying to pick up as much rep as I can here in the ARCA Menard series. Just so hopefully, even if we struggle early on in the trucks, that we stand a better fighting chance. Let's have a look then what others have got to say. Matt Beard wins the Reese's 150. Williams Sawalich leads the ARCA Championship standings. Then close drivers like Beard will really need to have strong finishes over the last 2 races in order to have a chance at the title. EJ Tamayo, happy with my result. Jonathan Round there, you can see when Matt Beard keeps it clean, it's real fun time out on the track. And there we go, Matt Weaver. Word is that Matt Beard and Tim Richmond have a bet going on who finishes higher this season. Loser buys the winner a steak in Phoenix. I'm pretty certain I've already guaranteed myself that stake. I've got no idea where Tim Richmond is overall, but I think mathematically I've wrapped that one up. There we go then, more big championship points there. 7 taken out of Williams Sawalich this weekend, and $32,000 as well. A decent purse, actually, out at Kansas. Yeah, I'm not surprised the car's taken a beating, though. Wasn't my best drive in the grand scheme of things as well there, so we've taken a huge shuffle back, but... Oh, Martinsville next time out is going to be a very, very difficult venue. Let's just take a look then. Can Tim Richmond beat me overall in the standings? Where is he at the moment? As we are on 694 now, so 50 behind Sawalich. I believe if I win next weekend out of Martinsville, we will mathematically still have a shot at the championship. They're heading into the finale. So Tim Richmond is 31st overall, so he would need to score, on average, 250 points a race in these final two, and I'd have to score nothing whatsoever. Tim, you owe me a steak. Thank you all so much for watching, though. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourselves subscribed. I will change the format around slightly, like I said, when we move up into trucks. To try and make these videos a bit longer and a bit, maybe a little bit more kind of diverse towards the end of the campaign. 2 rounds left to go, though, of this campaign. We need to try and get another win at Martinsville and potentially make it 4 victories in a row.